Bamm Ericsen here with AFTERBUZZ TV for Empire, Season 3, Episode 8, Unkindest Cut. Whew. There was some ruthless cutting business going on in last night's episode, and we are about to recap that. DJ, drop it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Diana.
I guess you guys like that song.
It was catchy.
It was catchy.
I don't know if I like it, but it was catchy.
I like it.
Like
it reminds me of like a Janelle Monáe type of
It exactly
Yeah.
reminded me of Janelle Monáe.
Very, very catchy. But
I hope they got Beverly Bond to sign off on it, though. She owns the trademark for Black Girl Magic. Anyway.
Interesting.
Well, on that note, hey, what's up? I'm Bamm Ericsen, and you can follow me on our social media at Bamm Ericsen.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me at Stiletto Jill, dropping bombs.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
And I am Rhavin with the V McSweaney here, and you can find me at B Stays Busy. That's Instagram, Snap, Facebook maybe.
All of those.
All of the above.
Stalk me.
All social media. Okay, so I really enjoyed last night's episode. Can you turn me up my here? I enjoyed last night's episode a lot. I thought they covered pretty much every storyline. So the first one that we want to discuss is Diana comes to see Cookie in her world. She comes to see him in the world, and it's okay, we're good. And so Diana wants Jamal to write a song and perform it, write a song specifically for Angelo, and to perform it at the fundraiser that they are in the process of doing.
Demanding.
Very.
Yeah, when Cookie was like, no, we should probably check our other options, but she was demanding, but I do believe that Cookie was on the cusp of putting her foot down. It's just that Jamal said, I can do it. What's your thoughts?
I mean, good for Jamal. Something needs to break him out of his little zone that he's in, his PTSD. So if he feels like that's a perfect way for him to cross that bridge, and it can low-key help his mom as long as he actually can perform.
Yeah, I feel like had he not taken that little leap, he wouldn't have had, is it Philip?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have gone the extra step to try and make sure he was ready, meaning he wouldn't have had that little encounter with his father, which wouldn't have inspired him to write that song about Lucious. Like, all of that stuff I feel like wouldn't have even happened had he not said, okay, I'm going to do it.
I think it was, go ahead.
I was just going to say it definitely was a domino effect for him, but I think just more so than even him, Cookie's just finally kind of met a match.
I think it was an ego for Jamal. When Cookie said, let's weigh our other options, it was like, wait, bitch, there ain't no options.
She did say before you settle, and he took offense to that particular word.
So I believe it was because of the words that Cookie used that got his ego. Otherwise, he would have stood back because he was high.
Yeah.
Because when she kind of was like, she kind of gave him that moment, like, if you don't get straight, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Moment when he took his glasses off.
Yeah.
Totally tell
in the beginning.
He was high, so I don't believe he would have done it had Cookie not have used those words to trigger his ego. Me personally.
I agree.
But
Very sensitive lately.
Yeah. Maybe it's the pills.
Yeah.
But so I don't think Jamal is ready. Do you guys think he's ready?
I don't think he's ready. I think even though Philip kind of showed him, like, it's your dad, that's the trigger and everything, I still feel like he could very well be up there and having a moment.
I think he's ready, but I think that he's not ready for the type of pressure that's going to go on him for this situation. Like, go ahead, do a smaller show.
Smaller one, yeah.
Do something that maybe isn't as important to your mom or to the well-being of, her.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I feel like we've tried that. We tried to do it in his house. We've tried to do other small things. So take
go big or go home.
Yeah, at some point you got to stand up, get yourself back inspired and in the game, and,
Now, okay, so then Jamal gets help from his friend Philip.
His boo.
who brings him these VR glasses, and he sets this.
How does Philip have access to that? How does Philip have access to everything? You can bring the whole setup and have it there waiting.
And you can put whatever you want in there. Even
Do you know what I mean?
The image of
You're
Frida.
way ahead of the curve.
So my
It was cool though.
my petty Pablo question is, what the hell kind of job does he have?
Right.
Right.
Is he getting paid for that?
Right. That's expensive equipment. I mean, virtual reality, the whole scene, it fills in as it goes. Like,
Furthermore, how much? What is
And
he
to
not
move it?
good at? What is he not good at? Anything, any issue that pops up, I feel like he has the answer to it all.
I got it.
But yeah,
Phil,
he
do
doesn't
it
have
all.
a job with that caliber of a title.
Right.
But
You know?
I also feel that on a much lower level where you have someone who maybe is trying to impress you, like I'm sure you beautiful ladies have all had dudes who always have something for you.
Never.
Always have
answer?
something.
What?
They either have an answer or something that you
Yeah.
happen to
Because they gotta
mention.
save the day.
Right, they have to save the day.
They want the cookies.
Although Philip doesn't seem to be, well, anyway, we're not going to touch that issue, but I feel like on a bigger level, Philip is this guy who in a normal situation would be doing things to just constantly impress. So, you like lunch and you like Nobu, you bring the food. Or hey, if you like, certain shoes that's from Italy, you make sure the shoes are flung. Like he's too
Johnny on the spot. I got
Yeah.
all the answers. You never know what. See, I don't trust Philip.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he has good intentions, but just for those reasons, he has the answers to everything, can do everything. It's too much.
I don't know. I feel like
You don't have
since
any other clients?
You use this as a reference.
No, a famous client.
Guys usually do that when they want something bigger in return. So it comes when those receipts are
Right.
held.
They
don't
are.
throw those receipts away. So if I'm doing all this for you, that's why I'm like, he want the cookies. He want the cookies. We're gonna find out. Watch.
He wants Jamal's cookies.
He want the cookies.
what kind of job does the boy have? Why
that's a
he's
really good
and
question.
and he's always around now. He originally met him at the
when he went to that meeting, that was like in a community center. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Not like
Yeah.
a big budget, promises or whatever those
And he
places
just lets you
are.
stay around.
Yeah.
And
Like
you're
the
just there
celebrity just-
with all the answers.
Yeah.
Scammer.
Okay, so Bamm is back. Bamm is back. Petty Pablo is gone. So while this is happening, then Lucious says you got electricity running through your nipples because
That was
so
funny.
yeah, that was funny because Philip did get his little feel of being able to put the stuff.
Touch up on them.
Again, major equipment. This isn't just like, oh, I got some Google glasses on the hookup. This is
Electricity.
Do you think maybe he's paying for it?
You know what?
I feel like he might be.
Or
I don't think they
or
think
what he
that
or,
deep
or what he
into it.
or what he's doing, and this is being super petty, but when you are working with someone of Jamal's caliber and of his fame, his fortune, and more importantly his money, he can call in favors and say, hey, I am Philip, I am the personal assistant to Jamal,
True.
and I need this, and there's a lot of people that will loan the things to him. So I'm
See, that would
defending.
still
I'm
be a
actually,
problem.
And I'm actually
defending,
not
but-
mad at that if that's the case,
yeah.
because sometimes you have to create your platform. You
Yeah.
got to create your
And-
career.
Yeah.
Indeed, but what is? But I think my thing is,
Yeah.
I feel like Philip is a little disingenuous about what he ultimately wants from Jamal. I feel like he rides the beat with, "I'm not really flirting with you. I'm here for you, but I care in a deeper way." It's all a little ambiguous. I don't know.
He's sexually
See, I think
fluid
he
as well.
actually does care.
Yeah.
I
believe
really
he cares,
believe
but-
maybe he's just the only genuine person on the show, like just truly like.
and we're
Yeah.
not used to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being I might be
yeah.
being naive,
Skeptical.
but
And I would agree. I think his intentions are pure, and he is trying to help the boy. So he's done various ways of trying to get himself to performing. And really, if you think about it, what he did is he got he got all of the accessible equipment to be able to have him visually stand in front of a stage and perform. I mean,
Right.
that's a good friend, a good wannabe boyfriend, whatever. But
Right.
that his intentions, that it is
And
pretty
he
good.
could read the EKG printout to know when Jamal was overstressed.
dude is
he does
seriously
it all.
You're not having it. You're not having it.
I'm just saying, he knows knows everything. Do you know what I mean? He knows the medical aspect. He has the technical thing unlocked. He's a therapist. He's just everything he needs. Something's a little suspect.
Maybe that's what he did in the service. Yeah, that's what he did in the service.
Everything.
So
everything.
But we can go.
They equipped you.
We can
for the
go
rest of your
on
life, you know?
this topic for a while, but let's now go to Lucious. So Lucious walks in and sees what the hell is going on, and he gives him the ultimatum. He says, "Listen, I've been telling you to get your ass out there and perform long before, and now your mama tell you to do something. Now all of a sudden you want to do it."
And she didn't even tell him to do it.
He didn't, but he loves to throw your mama. He
And
loves.
plus,
Yeah.
it's for Cookie and Angelo,
Yeah.
so he's automatically jealous.
Yeah, completely jealous. So he gives him an ultimatum. He was like, "You do this, you fail, and your ass is out of Empire, and you go indie." You agree, Team Lucious or back off Lucious?
I get what he was saying. I get where he was coming from. The presentation of how he said it, I probably wouldn't agree with, but it's time. Put your big boy draws on and get out there. And if you fall on your face again
And embarrass Empire and the
Again.
Lyon family.
I'm gonna be like, I told you so. That's
Yeah, I
what
think
Lucius
you're-
ultimately wants, is the I told you so factor 24/7, because he wants people to always have to come crawling back to him.
I think, but his delivery was, I agree with what he's saying, like you said, but I think his delivery was a little off, but you
Yeah.
can't keep having an artist
Because he
mess
came
up
in
like
kind of
that.
concerned. Like, what the hell are you doing to my son?
Yeah.
Like, he said my son. Like, I
Because
think he was a little
needs to have
concerned.
control. I don't even know. I mean, of course he was concerned, but with Lucius, when he uses
claim.
certain terms,
Of
yeah,
course,
it's
of course.
ownership. It's let me remind you my connection to the situation, and you remember where you where you fall in this situation.
yeah.
I'm Team Lucius because one thing you can say many things about Lucius, but he's always been very transparent, and so he puts his company, he puts the wealth and making sure that the family have all the things that they need, and he has every right to do so. As far as how he says it, so what, who cares? I haven't said that in a while. So what, who cares? Because in this business, if you ever get the opportunity to be in a place where you are with some music executives, you will hear far worse languages and things that are said. It's the nature of the business. There's a lot of money at stake. You either get your ass on that stage and you perform. If you get on the stage and if you F up, your ass is gone. Because if this was a regular artist that is not related to them,
That's how it went down.
he would have been gone
But
a
I
long
just
time
feel
ago.
like his intentions initially was on some all like, I'm jealous. Oh, you doing stuff for your mom. Oh, you doing stuff for Angelo type of thing. I
Always.
think
I mean,
that was the
always.
fluff in which I was saying, like, that whole connotation was like, just get to the business. I get it though. He's not a businessman. He's a business man. I get it. I get
Thank you,
it.
Jigga.
And so now Lucius then goes and tells Hakeem and Tiana that they have this plan. Lucius says that Hakeem is going to re-record Graham's part, and they're going to come together to do a music so that they could
That
be
joint album, yeah.
to be popping again. What's your take on this Tiana situation? Because she is not happy. She's becoming what they call a diva. And I just want your thoughts on what's your take on them recording together, and then Tiana's whole disposition of her disliking, not wanting to do anything from the straight hair to the long dress, open floor, go.
I feel for her in this episode, and it's the first time in a long time that I've actually sympathized and liked her character. I think she's not being a diva. I think in this situation, it's a hard line as an artist. You expect the people around you to kind of guide you through what you should be doing. Like, should she have stood up and said, no, I'm not going to straighten my hair? Or should she have, tried to go with it for that publicity? Like, that's a really hard thing to do. And she did want to stand up, and everyone's like, no, you got to do this, you got to do this. And then it all backfired. And
Which we'll get to in a second.
I
But
won't jump ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I felt for her, and I feel like she wasn't really being a diva, because I feel like we all complain about some shit that we're not enjoying throughout our day in our work environment, around the people we're around. Sometimes we just don't say that out loud to them where they can hear it. But if I'm talking to my girl,
And
just
everything
in
she said
intimate,
was true.
exactly.
And also, I mean, let's remember, she is the crown jewel of the label. That could be changing, but as it stands today, she and Hakeem and Jamal are the three pieces of Empire's holy trinity, and she should be kind of treated and handled as such. And she's been back burner by a lot of the other things that are going on. So I felt for her. I understood her position. I think she got done a little dirty. And go ahead and record with Hakeem because you guys have good energy. But where's Graham? I mean, I know where Graham is.
Where is
but
he? Is he
I
dead?
know where he has that been, like, we've addressed that
Have
as
they
a show.
addressed
But Adam Rodriguez,
we know.
Adam
want to talk about people dying.
Adam Rodriguez,
know what happened.
Adam Rodriguez disappeared, and he ain't been back since season 2, so
Yeah,
he's
but Graham
dead.
is a major rapper. Like, we just gonna forget it, and had beef, and so he's just like, oh, he's gone by, no more words. But fine, moving on. Let's go.
They don't have enough time, and
Yeah.
you know, they don't.
Well,
too much.
well, I don't feel sorry for Tiana. So let me.
Because you don't like him.
No, I like her. She's fine. But this is my thing with Tiana. When you know that the situation is getting bad, and you know that things are changing, when you are not popping anymore on the label or at the network where you're working at, and you know that things may go sour at any point, you need a backup plan. So you need to start plotting, which is what women do when they know when a situation goes wrong. When you know that you need to leave, you don't just get up and just.
Men are good.
No, you
come
do.
on, come
you
on.
do.
Maybe a little bit,
Give
little
you that
bit.
one.
That was sarcasm, obviously.
We got plan B, C, D.
Yeah.
E.
You don't know my life, man.
You know me. You know what the heck I've been through.
But
So you think Tiana's not handling her business?
she needs a plan, because if
She's too comfortable on her little throne.
she's too comfortable on her throne. And so let's discuss this. So I believe in season 1 or season 2, she straightened her hair before. What's the big fucking deal? Number
got
one
that
about
good
the
shit,
You
hair.
know, she might have evolved.
Yeah.
She might feel like it's a person. Maybe it's not the point of straightening her hair that she doesn't mind wearing it straight. Maybe
It's coming from a racist person.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, she
And
needs
it's
you
the
to look
context in which
us.
she's
I
saying
need you-
straighten your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
you to look
yeah.
That I get. Now also the long dress. That
was
Okay.
right. She was on point.
No,
about
it wasn't.
that.
No, it wasn't. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Okay.
Because as a dancer and performer, Aaliyah and Are You That Somebody? She had the long dress. There's ways that you can make something work for you. So you can have the dress on, and then
But not when she was doing her
but,
serious choreography.
but
Sorry,
but at the same time, when you're there performing live on stage, the way to shit on that bitch is you rip or do a slit or you make it into your own. You can make it into your own. Beyonce wears long dresses all the time, and then it like pulls open
But
or something. And you see
Beyonce's
like,
in a onesie when she's breaking it down.
no. Sometimes she's in that thing where it's like it's like a dress and it kind of flows, but her legs are showing. Like as a creative person, you
like
can
she
take
should've
go
found a
outside
way.
the
as a
box
creative person,
little.
you could have went out the box
Yeah.
and played the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know this girl, you know she's racist, you know. She could have played the game and she could have made it her own. Remember, it's a live show.
So that adds to her
just like you brought Graham up live when no one was expecting it, you can shit on this bitch and you can do something in the middle of your performance. You can have the dress on in the middle of a song, take it off, do something.
Right. I feel like too, like, isn't
I'm
your
mad that
costume
was such a
planned a
good
little
point.
bit earlier than the day of or the day before?
It was, but then remember the woman wanted to change it, and
Change it.
she's like, I want her to wear my lead piece, and you know.
You know how they tried to make it seem like Tiana was like super curvy and all this, like this tight dress. Like, she's not. Is she any curvier than Nessa, really? That much? Like, I think they're both pretty slight people.
Yeah, I think Tiana's just smaller, maybe shorter. So,
Okay.
you know, she probably was maybe stepping on it. I
She
don't
was
know.
obviously stuck in her bratish ways, of course, and I
She wanted
definitely
to feel
agree
like a
that
diva.
being too comfortable because she's been spoon-fed, so
Right.
it's hard to kind of. Even though he brings a good point where she brought Graham up, like, who told you to do that?
Yeah.
You did that by yourself.
Now I will now defend her. When you are that young and you have all of these yes people around you, it is difficult to just flip up and change. But I think now this would have been the opportunity where Portia, they could have given her a bigger storyline, because she only had that one dialogue when she said she agrees, referencing the Drake and Rihanna. It should have been someone like a Portia who has street credibility.
Well, she kicked Becky off the team. Becky might
Right,
have.
but she wasn't even in this episode. But that's
Right.
where Portia could have, you know, from the street credibility side, could have pulled her to the side and been like, "Look, girl, some blah blah
All
blah
of
blah.
that could have happened, but
Yeah,
they didn't
but
want her to win.
Yeah, they didn't want her to win. So now let's get into Dre, Nessa, and Rhonda. So Dre's almost pseudo crazy again. So he sees Rhonda, and he wakes up or he snaps out of it, and Nessa asks, "What's wrong? You're talking in your sleep." And he does what a typical person does. He avoids the topic, says he's okay, and then he mentions some things.
He placates Nessa with what she really cares about.
Yeah.
You know, Nessa is quite a piece of work.
I was right.
You were. I don't know if she's become affected just because now she's tasted the fame and she sees the spotlight, and now she's like, I want this and I want it by any means necessary. And I see I got a killer on my left.
Yes,
that's gonna
you know
make
you
it
got
happen.
somebody on your team that'll make it happen.
So I'm gonna ride out to this gangster side, which is comfortable for me anyway. But Nessa's turning it, and Andre is like, look, I got my Bonnie. I'm gonna make it happen for her too, and take you guys down.
Why are you guys so surprised that Nessa decided to turn on the dark side? I mean, I'm not saying because she's from a particular neighborhood that she's a bad person, but she's seen trifling type-ish ways. So if she agreed to join forces with Andre, why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised because I remember I didn't
know
like
you're
her
not.
from the
I know
beginning.
you're not
Oh, I was
surprised.
like, she had this all
Yeah.
planned. Like,
Yeah.
she
I
had
just
the whole
wasn't
Dre thing.
sure. I just
everything.
wasn't sure. I thought this was gonna be like a beautiful moment for Andre. Like, but in the back of my head, I knew better.
You
but
thought it was gonna be like a Jennifer Holiday dance from
I
season
thought
one.
she was a little more wholesome regardless. Like, I wasn't even on Abby's tip. I was like, no, she's sweet. She's honey and all that kind of stuff. But now I changed my tune just a little bit as far as wanting them to be together because they could be each other's demise as well. Like, if you get that thirsty, I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be some scheme, plot. I mean, from a story standpoint, I'm looking forward to seeing them together, but do I want to see them together right now? Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I feel like I felt the worst in this episode for Cookie. I feel like she was doing the most to kind of keep her brand afloat with the crossover and the fashion show and everything, and then Andre sabotaged it.
So now let's get into that. So Andre, says that these potential investors are coming, and so this is where we need to get us in. And so then of course we see that he has Nessa intern.
Shadow.
Okay, first and foremost.
When does that ever happen?
First and foremost, I can say when you send your talent out, unless they're already friends, there's not this other artist is going to come in and watch what you do for the
she
day.
wants to be you.
That's not happening. Nobody's saying yes to that. There's no reason for anybody to say yes to that. And what, even as a new artist, even if you are humble, is going to be all of a sudden, I'm going to be the stylist assistant. I'm grabbing clothes off the rack. That didn't make any sense to me.
It was super random, but I think it just got swept under the rug or under the radar more so because at that moment Cookie was just so like, I want to see you happy,
Right.
Dre,
because
like,
any other time Cookie would have been like, wait.
anything for you. I'm just happy for you.
That
Go
was gross
ahead.
that he took advantage of that. I hated that.
Lucious point two.
I'm not mad.
Part two.
I'm not mad.
I see them both being like a younger, more cunning, more savage Lucious and Cookie. Nessa and Andre.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that at all. You have to remember who their parents are.
You can't be mad at it, but I was just like, I was rooting for you to just go a total.
We were all rooting for you.
Last season, I had been predicting that Andre needs to die for a while because his storyline is boring, but
Not anymore.
Now it's popping.
I mean, it's really great, and I love all what he's doing. And then also, for a moment there, did you really think for a second that she burned the dress on accident?
I never thought she burned the dress.
That was the way they filmed it.
Yeah, I did because it was.
She tossed it and it was so quick.
Because the way she just put it, it wasn't like.
But it was like on top of
Yeah.
it.
My thing was, I didn't expect it to be caught on fire, but I was like, there's going to be a stain.
But then
ink,
even
wine,
after that,
whatever.
I was like, why she sound like that? When she was just like,
Right.
I'm
I'm
so
so
sorry.
sorry.
I'll get you another one. It's weird.
Right. That's the same thing I was
just
thinking.
kinda like, what are you talking about?
Because now she doesn't know.
She doesn't
she
understand
doesn't
that,
understand the
right.
whole couture thing. Now another petty side is normally when there's a dress of that magnitude,
It would never just be there.
You try it on at their facility.
and
they make the adjustments, and
Till
then
the
they
day
keep it.
of.
And then 5 minutes before showtime, you squeeze that dress
absolutely
on,
right.
and then you go onto the stage, and then after that, you take it off.
Again,
And I'm pretty sure you're not
an
ironing
up and
any of that shit.
yeah.
There would never be an iron in
a steamer.
I thought that was a curling iron.
Oh, was it a
Was
curling
it?
iron? I
Anyway.
honestly couldn't even tell what it was.
I thought it was a candle. So there you go.
I thought it was a candle because it's set ablaze that way. But
Anyway.
I had no idea what it was. I just knew that a budding pop star or a budding, I guess, see, I didn't even realize Nessa was urban and was the urban girl until last night either when they made that distinction.
I thought she
Nessa
was
gonna
always
be more
signed to,
pop.
my bad, to Shine's side of, the gutta type of thing.
I knew where she was signed, but all of her stuff so far, none of it has been.
That's true.
It's been soulful, but it hasn't been.
It's R&B, not. It's.
But maybe it's based on her background, her upbringing, why they put that title on her more than anything.
Okay, what do you guys think about Hakeem still in his feelings? I love the fact that, again, with this whole Dre situation, Hakeem tried to puff his chest out, and Andre just
Killed him?
gave
and
him
headbutted him like.
I didn't realize
Just-
Andre is
kisses.
huge.
He is a big guy. He's ripped.
It was like
I
nothing.
think Hakeem is not so tall.
Yeah.
No, I will say I do think Hakeem is. I hope it's not by fluke, but this episode I felt like he was growing up a little bit.
Yeah,
I felt like he was being a little responsible because I feel like even when Dre put them paws on him, he could have had a little tantrum, and after a while he was like, "All right, cool," and walked away.
I think he walked away because he knew he was going to get those hands put on him.
But I do think he thought about it for a minute, like, all right, that's all right. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to conjure something. I'm going to use my brain a little bit.
Right,
He has to use his brain because he can't use his hand.
Yeah. But he also discovered that Andre was behind it.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Which also helped. The fact that he had the information, it's like, okay, well, I know you're going to beat my ass. So I'm going to stop getting punched in the face. I'm going to take a second and I'm going to come back.
Spit this blood out on the floor.
And so what's your thoughts on Tiana and Hakeem and them watching Creed and him
braiding her hair
First of
like
all,
they were Michael B. Jordan and
Their
Tessa.
product placement for Amazon in this episode
Right.
was flawless.
Last
like
one
in the
too.
beginning when you walked in and she had the packages at the front, like it was great.
On point.
They used Alexa last week or Echo, whatever it's
but
called.
I thought it was really sweet at the end when it was weird because like why are you unbraiding her hair to practice braiding her hair?
That's because that's a movie. That's from
Explain-
Creed. That's from
Yeah.
Creed.
Okay.
The movie that they said they were watching,
Okay.
Creed, with Michael B. Jordan and Tessa.
Right.
There's a scene.
Does he
that's
do
very.
that in it?
Yeah,
Do you think that's
he takes her
do you
braids
find,
down.
Did you find that corny?
A lot of women seem to like that moment, like that's your bae taking your braids or your weave out. You guys are bonding over there.
I just don't see them as
personally-
each other's bae. I just feel like
It's
they're
just
convenient for
He's
one
trying
another.
to. He's being tender. It was a
But
tender moment.
You also have to remember, they both have nothing right now. So when two
Right.
people have nothing, two
Misery
nothings
loves
come,
company.
two nothing comes together and become one.
They become whole.
Yeah.
I was
they
happy he was
fit.
trying to
They
learn.
should go back together. They fit.
No,
Just go ahead.
No.
They're gonna do it anyway because why?
No,
they're
gonna
have a little musical thing. They're
They
gonna
gonna do their little thing, but they better
Yeah.
not get together.
I mean, it'll be up and down. They'll have a hit. They'll break up again. They're really trying to, capitalize on the,
Be there for each other. I'm down for that all the way.
So the performance, we played the song earlier. So Nessa, well, actually, let's backtrack. So continuing on with this Dre situation. So after Tiana does the video goes viral and she's complaining, well, I don't want to say that because she had every right. She was recorded. So Andre promises to Cookie, don't worry, I'll take care of this. I'll get it done. I'll even throw in a couple of points and all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. So he goes, the actress, I know her name is Gina from Showgirls. What was her character
Gina
name?
Gershon.
Helene.
Oh yeah,
Helene. Thank you, Helene. So
Gina
Andre
Gershon.
goes to see Helene, and let's
He
just
played
open
her.
floor.
I mean, here's the thing. He came with a lot of logic. He had a lot of points because he
It's
was
scary.
right. He manipulated the situation perfectly. She's in a position where really he's right. She can't go with, a white performer or a blonde, something out of the box because it adds credence to what was being said. And since she already had an issue, she has to go forward with an artist of that caliber. So her back's against the wall. She's already in a deal with Empire.
Right.
And the way that he positioned it, it's like, no, I got black friends too.
Yeah.
Look, so, it made sense. He did his thing. He made it work for Nessa.
What are your thoughts about The
That
baby.
poor baby.
The poor baby's
Okay.
hair.
That
You don't
was-
mess with the children. You don't mess with the
The
kids.
child was a weird addition, I think, to it. Anyway.
I know
Godfather
And
people.
like,
moment.
did y'all see when she was brushing her hair when she was just like staring? Into,
I
was
know,
like, what the
I know
frick is
people
going
Because
on?
her
that are
daughter-
executives
yeah.
that have daughters like that, or that have that relation. I know
Yeah.
that.
That's her
that duo.
doll. That's not her daughter.
Daughter.
That's like something for her to dress up and, oh, maybe I'll design a children's like, that's not.
Yo, straight up.
That's the nanny's
Yeah.
child.
Scary.
Yeah, the importance of hair in this country, the way it's stressed. I mean, look at entertainment. Look at even when Nessa performed, she weaved her hair. I mean, hair is really important. People think that hair makes or breaks a woman, and clearly, what's her name? Nadine, Helene. Helene. First of all, Helene was wearing a wig, so maybe she has hair. Maybe she doesn't have hair. Maybe she's going through cancer, something. But there was a reason why that wig was so off.
Right.
And so
That's
for
just
the-
like,
and
it was
so-
popped up.
Yeah, and so for the fact now that she's combing this hair out of envy, it just proves that we in this country, we put in a lot of importance on hair, and that hair can make or break a person. A lot of times when a woman cuts their hair short, it's like, oh, you're not as beautiful anymore.
Right.
So I get that.
Or it's
but-
a freeing empowerment moment
Right.
when women decide to do
They
that.
going
Yeah.
through something and they just want to change
Yeah.
and rejuvenate.
But I
I
said,
thought that was
yeah.
mean though. Why are you?
Yeah.
It's mean, but guess what? Who gives a
Right. Right. It's business.
It's business.
That's
Yeah,
dangerous.
it's business. It's business, and
God.
Andre was basically letting her know,
Don't mess.
you done messed with the wrong dude, and you done messed with the
That
wrong
scared
family.
me. I was like, Andre, you mess with the kids.
Yeah, you cut the baby's hair.
You
like,
messing with the kids though?
I
the
mean,
kids.
you could have done something to her wig. That would have been
Right.
traumatizing.
It wouldn't have been traumatizing to her because
Because
she
I
put,
know.
yeah. But I loved it, me personally.
I mean, I was just curious how he did it.
Yeah. Right.
right
Before the meeting or after?
But Helene, can we talk about how she just
Yeah.
pulled Diana to the side and was just like, run from this family?
Yeah,
She's crazy.
she's not crazy. She's terrified
she's
now.
for real.
Yeah.
She's for real. She's terrified because imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine
Someone sneaks into your daughter's room and cuts her
and not only that, but you're rich. You have security. I mean,
And
she's
none of that matters.
she's
at
right.
that point.
Right.
That's
She's rich. She
scary.
has security, and Andre finds probably Thurston or somebody,
Your
whoever,
child.
and he breaks in the house and cuts your child's hair. She's terrified of this family, and on top of that, they black.
Yeah, you can totally see her face expression when he sits down next to her and he's like, I'm glad we were able to come on some common ground. She's literally just sitting there like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I could hear her heartbeat. You're not safe.
Yeah.
You're not safe.
Yeah, and so we think obviously it will affect the family next week when we see them getting
Definitely.
together. I got it. Okay, so now Mother Walker. Did anyone expect Mother Walker to
No.
actually be on Team
No,
Lucious?
I was
did not.
shocked.
I did not.
That was shocking. She just did the whole double back flip through and, played everybody. And that's why you can't trust her. Why was Lucius tying the tie around her
That's
neck?
what I
That
know.
was puzzling to me. I'm like,
It
is
was.
there some significance with the tie that happened before or something? Because that was just a little creepy.
I think it was.
I think that was all for us.
I think it was all for camera. I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been better had she had maybe some pearls, like he was
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
pearls
start-
and
yeah,
pearls or
that-
something.
I was like, get it, because I thought since we hadn't seen her last week, I thought she was good. I thought she was, settling in, even though I was like, where the hell are you when Hakeem needed help with the baby, but whatevs.
Right.
So all of a sudden this week, now she's unhappy again. And I was just kind of like, wait, okay, cool. But now you're talking to the half-brother. It was just all really...
I wasn't surprised at at Tyreek going to try and use her to
And
get
I was
in.
surprised that Lucius knew about that too. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing that he doesn't
doesn't
know.
But
I'm like, did she tell him? Did he figure it out and then come to her and convince her to be on his side? I'm kind of curious about that.
I'm thinking because in the earlier episodes in season 3, when Boo Boo Kitty found the bug device, and that he knew that Tariq is after him. So if you find a bug and you take the bug out of the teddy bear, are you just gonna say, okay, we're safe? I think you're gonna keep.
It's ongoing.
It's on.
And I
it's-
think
yeah.
that was the point where oh boy came in. He was like, I can't find anything on him. Like,
Yeah.
keep pushing. We're gonna find something, I guess. but I was floored.
Yeah, I was completely shocked.
Now, we did find some more information. So when Mother Walker was outside talking to Tariq, we find out that the dad's name is Joe Walker, and Joe Walker. We kind of knew this, but Joe Walker was married or with Mother Walker, and Tariq's mom
Was the side.
was a side piece, and her name was I forget what the name was, but
She was a freak. We know that.
yeah, she was a freak.
heard that.
She was a freak, and she tried to steal. Tariq's mom tried to steal Joe away from Mother Walker, and something that we knew was coming was he wanted to know what his dad was like. He wanted to know what his dad was like, and he's in a lot of pain.
He's jealous because he's missing his father, and for whatever, I guess, does he feel as though Lucious didn't take advantage of having his dad there? I don't know why he's so mad at Lucious for his father not being in his life. That's not Lucious's fault.
It's not
The
Lu-
product
yeah.
of what the situation was. He's a love child.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's jealousy, but
Not only that, but when we saw the flashbacks, we saw little Tariq over there in the music thing,
He
you
wanted
know,
to hang
and
out.
so
He was never allowed.
and he was never allowed. And I'm going to assume that Mother Walker is the one with the talent. So therefore, if Lucious has the talent, the musical ability, Tariq has it. No.
the father.
No, the father. So maybe Joe is the one who. Maybe Joe had all the talent. You know, Joe Jackson, I believe, used to be a guitarist, or he was some kind of musician. So he had the musical gift. So obviously, Tariq had. I believe Tariq has it as well as Lucious. So you know, they doing the little beatbox and doing the Biz Markie Just a Friend, and so you can tell that he wanted to be a part of that. So imagine if you are taken away, and then your brother winds up becoming Michael Jackson, and all you wanted to be was maybe Jermaine or you know what I'm saying?
I would still be mad at the person who took me away from it.
Right.
No, but I'm mad. But
It's this.
The
I
envy is-
understand
yeah,
the
yeah.
jealousy.
envy.
He's jealous.
It's a
envy
deadly
idea.
sin for a
like
reason.
I get it, but I mean,
But to
just
have your whole life
dedicated
around
to taking him
down,
out?
yeah, it's just
Well, he's
kinda-
not.
ask him for a contract. I
His-
mean, be
yeah.
a rapper.
Right.
Be a,
Grow
like,
up at some point and think.
And we
things
also
through.
heard Lucious's mom sing too. I feel like she got a
Yeah,
little.
and she can too. I believe she can, but I can see why he feels this way. If your brother was in the same city or 15, 20 miles away, and there's no acknowledgement, I would be pretty pissed, being that you are Lucious Lyon. You are like a cross between Russell Simmons and Sean Diddy. You're worth about $600 million, and I'm eating sardines and top
I just
ramen.
think it would be different.
I would be in my feelings. I would be
If I
pissed.
saw you every weekend as my half sibling and I got to hang out and came to birthday parties, then maybe I would. But it doesn't look like either one of them was in each other's lives at all.
Well, they do know that each other exists.
Right.
And being that Lucious is an asshole, who's to say that Tariq did not reach out to him and Lucious
Yeah,
said,
maybe later down.
kick
He was
rocks.
like, no, right.
I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be a reason if he tried to reach out to him when they were like adolescents. I mean, that's
Okay.
just Lucious.
I would like to think I could rise above it, but I would probably be just as.
Yeah.
I mean, if I knew you,
I
I
would
would want to send him.
maybe not to that level, but
Yeah.
I just have those relationships with my half siblings. Like, we don't even use that term.
Yeah.
We're siblings, and we have those relationships. So if there was some of that I knew nothing about, I'd be cool with them. But I'm not about to break you off of my part of my empire when you weren't a part of it. That's just
Right.
weird. I don't know. I don't feel like anybody owes him that.
Well, Oprah did to her sister. She found out 30 years later. I'm just saying.
I mean,
But they kept a relationship after that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay.
If I mess with you,
yeah.
like I'm like, hey, sister girl, come kick it, then we gonna do it. But if you're weird and you're coming for me,
Yeah. Okay, so open discussion. Boo Boo Kitty and Lucious, go.
They need everybody needs a release,
yeah.
and Boo Boo Kitty what happened. Wait, why is she not A&R and Shine's
Andre
label?
took it.
Yeah.
I think Andre jumped
Took
on it or
over.
something.
He's
Isn't that
like
what it is?
managing Nessa now.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that has
he has
nothing,
more
yeah,
to do with
but
label stuff.
That has nothing to do with actually Shine. I think it's Lucious is just being a jerk and taking his time and giving her a position.
Okay.
I think it's one of those, which is why she says no. I want it in writing.
Okay.
I think Lucious is just being Lucious.
Okay.
Just controlling the situation.
Her lingerie is fly though.
Right?
Her
Like,
body is fly.
word,
Fly.
word,
She looked so
word.
good. She looked so good.
You know what was interesting to me? How Tyreek perked up when Mother Walker said that Lucious and
Having
Anika
sex.
were going at it a
Right.
lot. Like
I feel like that
he
was
felt
the
a little like
perfect-
jolt. Like really?
Because he knew they weren't, because he was trying to prove that they had that fake marriage. So when he's hearing that, he's like, oh, so they really digging each other? Okay. Now what I got to dig up?
Right. Might be some more jealousy there. I just feel like everything is just he takes everything personally. Like why does he get hurt?
He has a huge chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He also seems like he's not worried about that, though. He seems like he lives a normal life, not
Where?
beyond
Where?
his means. Well, like a monk, like his little baby apartment, and he eats his
Right.
But
cereal.
that's not because he wants to.
I
With
think-
Lucius
yeah.
pictures all plastered on the wall, and how can
Yeah.
I take Lucius out today?
I just thought he was that type of guy.
And not to beat
'cause he
a,
has
and
no
not to beat a
money.
dead horse, but then his mom, who pulled him away from Lucius, his mama was probably mean. He probably didn't have a life.
Well, we saw that in that
Yeah.
flashback. She seemed mean.
And so
Snatching him up.
he seems like he's just a bitter old man in his 40s who didn't have the life what he wanted. His mom is not
We think she's dead, right?
probably
She's passed.
probably dead, but you know he's clearly bitter.
Yeah.
And
oh,
probably
yes,
yeah.
bitter Bobby for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so the final thing is, so Jamal writes this song, and he has the family come over, and I actually
deep.
have some of the lyrics.
So the whole album. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to hear the songs
I
he's gonna
liked
write
it,
about
as long as it's not about my
and
family.
Hakeem.
So, you failed us so much it's hard to call you dad. Tell me how can you be so heartless and selfish? It hurts like hell that you're such a cold man. Your judgment is coming. It's past due. You lied about your mother just to keep your street cred. Lucius was jealous.
He looked like he was about to cry.
He was jealous that he wrote the song about his mom. Well, Jamal wrote
Here
a song
you go.
back.
Want to hear it?
Yeah. What's your thought? Do you think that was smart for him to do that?
Yes.
I mean, Jamal's just trying to reach his. Here's the thing: did Lucius really care 2 minutes after that? You know what I mean?
But I think Jamal needed to like let out his. He never has actually been like this is how I feel like about everything, and I think that was like it was a closure that's needed, especially with PTSD. Like people need to have that
Release.
experience.
Yeah.
And if I feel like he said everything that we've like that I've always been thinking every episode. Like, why don't you just have like a conversation about everything? And then they did, and then I was like, wait, what?
And then
Yeah.
and then Philip did say that Lucius is your problem.
Right.
And so you need to confront Lucius.
Lucius put him in the trash can. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be a problem
Yeah.
for
Right.
a while.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take more than just letting him listen to one song to get over that, though. If that's the trigger of your PTSD, I feel like you got a long way to go.
Well,
If
what
it's
happened-
just
I mean-
Lucius,
But it did open up a conversation. I feel like that they never
Yeah.
really had before.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
though.
Do you think that the family should have been in support of the song and the album that he wanted to title? It's called the album that he wants to do is When Cookie Met Lucius. That's a terrible album.
I feel like they were
First- yeah.
bombarded, first
Yeah.
of all. Like,
Yeah.
if you want people to be on your team, then maybe you should give them a
Have a
heads up of what you're
conversation.
doing. And, you know, I think he just kind of
You're airing
threw them.
some real dirty laundry. Like,
But now
Yes.
Jamal's going to be spinning again anyway because of the whole fact that he just discovered that Cookie's involvement in Frida's dad
Which
passing.
can you explain that a little more for me?
So what happened? So okay.
That was all so quick. I was like,
So what happened is Cookie, in order to get out of jail early,
Right.
she wound up snitching that Frank Gathers had something to do with that
with-
whole situation
Okay.
when
The shooting.
with the shooting and she
Right.
witnessed the shooting when she
oh,
had
okay,
the,
so
when she
they
had
were,
the mushroom.
no
But
one knew about that.
no one knew
Why did I
but
not
she and
know?
Lucius. But then the problem came when Frank found out
when he went to jail.
when he went to jail, and so Cookie told Lucius, and then Lucius had to have him killed.
Right.
Because he was going to have her
Yeah.
killed.
So
And
they
so
were the only two the whole time
They were
aware of
they
that.
the
Okay.
they were the only two. I mean, they had a lifetime of secrets that I assumed that they were gonna keep amongst each other.
Yeah.
But because Jamal decided to go so hard and
They became BFFs.
yeah,
Frida
and with Frida, I felt like with Lucius doing that, that was his only way to win. So you already know that Cookie is getting ready to potentially marry Angelo. So he feels like his Bonnie is gone. And so he was like, F it, I'm just going to tell.
Right.
Typical Lucious.
Right.
And Jamal,
When it's convenient
once
for
again,
him, so.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you
I think Jamal needs to chill.
Yeah.
I mean, not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously murder. It's not like something that should just be brushed off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know who your parents are.
Yeah.
You,
Right. Nothing
and-
should shock you now.
Right. And if it came down to your mom or Frida's dad,
You would be choosing your mom all day,
right.
every day.
So, these are things that you probably don't want to know.
These are things that had to have happened to keep you alive and your family together.
And Lucious made the point. He was like, I won't never apologize for
loving you.
for loving y'all. Do you really think Lucious loves his family, or do you think
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
in his own way. I mean, love to a narcissist
Right.
is kind of different.
I don't
You know, it
I don't
doesn't
think
mean
it's
that
a
it's
genuine
not
It's
love.
not like how I love my
I think he wants
loved
to
ones,
think that he
but-
loves them, but he doesn't really. Like, if you tell yourself you love something enough, like, you think that maybe you do, but his actions, I think, show differently.
I was 50-50 about that, but I will say this. You can't expect your father, who's been this notorious Lucious all this time, you've had the best schools, you've had all this money, you've never had to work a day in your life, and now because you're grown up and you're in your feelings about something, you want your dad to all of a sudden change. Like, if you didn't know or understand what he did in order for you guys to become what you are, and then when you find out about it, you can't really get in your feelings about it, because he is who he is. So I feel like Jamal does need to get over it, or what he does is he needs to
Or go independent.
or go independent. I always use the Jacksons as a reference, but there was a time when Jermaine got pissed at Michael and wrote a song called "A Word to the Bad." So if you are upset and you really want to release this and get this off your chest, put it out. Who gives a care what Lucious thing? Go indie and do what you have to do, but you have to be able to take a stand.
Definitely.
So, but all in all,
agree.
love the episode.
It was
Me
good.
too.
It was
Yeah.
a lot.
One more until
Yeah.
the fall finale.
Yeah, and so speaking of fall finale, now let's go into predictions about what we think is about to happen, go down.
Is that your little prediction,
This
Shimmy?
is my part.
Okay.
Wait, are we starting with me? Everybody's looking. Oh, okay. Hey.
Electricity
be
bits
you.
somewhere else.
I feel that Jamal should go independent and bring Becky with him. That's what I'm thinking should happen. I would love that to happen. I think with Nessa and Dre, it is literally just the beginning of all the shit hitting the fan. And he's going to be so good at doing it. I think Hakeem is going to show us just a little more maturity in the next episode. I could be completely wrong, but this is just what I'm hoping for. And there's going to be some shit between Cookie and Angelo via Mama. What's her name? Diane?
Yeah.
Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's going to be a huge part of the finale.
For sure.
And I think that Andre is going to literally be off the rocker, and I think that he's going to probably take control of the next few episodes, like leading into the next, after the break. And I think that honestly, Tiana and Nessa are going to come face to face. I hope so, because
Especially since
something
she knows
needs to happen.
now.
Yeah. And other than that, I think everyone needs to let everything go that happened in the past with Lucious and Cookie, like we were talking about, and move on.
Oh, they need some family therapy or
Yeah.
something.
I think that we're going to see something happen with Tariq, something major to push that along, or maybe he'll go home, please. I think that we are going to see something dastardly from Mother Walker. I hope Anika gets out the house. I would like to see her more in the mix. Come on, Boo Boo Kitty. And I think Angelo and Cookie are headed for a breakup. So, yeah.
Speaking of Boo Boo Kitty, I think that Boo Boo Kitty will eventually go and work with Shine, and she's going to work with Lucious in order to take him down before he will eventually get killed, which I believe will happen sometime toward the end of season 3. I think we're going to now see the battle of the couples. We're going to see Hakeem and Tiana battle it out with Dre and Nessa.
That could be,
I like
that could be
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Maybe Hakeem will do something to offset the meds. Like, these two brothers are gonna really now go at it, where they're gonna literally be at each other's throats. So I'm excited to see where that's going. But I think Dre and Nessa will conquer and will win. But the problem is, when Cookie finds out about Dre and Nessa, how will she reply? Will she be on board? Will she be pissed? What's gonna happen once Cookie finds out?
Well, she already has a clue.
She has a clue,
Right.
but then I also wonder, maybe she will join forces, because at some point I feel like Lucious is gonna do something to piss Cookie off,
Right.
and they will maybe take him down in order to get Empire and whatever.
They're gonna try it again.
Yeah, but I'm really loving what's happening. And then last but not least, just really quickly, do you guys think that Jamal is going to panic when he performs next week in his all white?
I would like to, I don't think so, because I think he's done it enough. I think they need to change it up a little.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get through it, but something else is going to happen.
They're gonna want us to expect it. It might the first few seconds.
What,
and then he
something that's
breaks
going to
through it.
send Cookie and Angelo in doubt. That event is going to be the be all.
Agree.
Yeah.
And let everyone know where you can be found on social media.
Rhavin with the V. You can find me at B Stays Busy.
You can find me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
You can find me at Stiletto Jill everywhere.
And you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys do not want to miss next week's Empire AfterBuzz finale. You never know who may drop into the AfterBuzz building. That's all I'm saying. See you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.